All right. Welcome back to the Forfeit Fatherhood podcast, a podcast for fathers, by fathers, with fathers, where we focus on the four pillars of fatherhood, which is faith, family, finance, and fitness. And my guest today actually has a fifth pillar, which I really like, which is fun. So my guest today is Wallace Holyfield. Really excited to have him here. I've been watching him on social media, on Instagram in particular. Always great content, always showing love with the family, doing all kinds of great stuff. So I'm super excited to have him here to talk to you brothers about fatherhood and his journey. Wallace, how you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm absolutely amazing.
Good. I'm just glad to hear that, man. So like I said, I've been following you for a while now, man. And it's one, the creativity is top notch, bro. Like every time I see him, I'm like, damn, man, he really thinking out here. He really putting it together, man. How did you get into like being, I guess I would call you a content creator?
Honestly, man, I love to talk. And growing up, I always told my grandmother, that's pretty much who raised me. I said, one day I'm going to get paid to talk. And I've always said that no matter what job I was at, I'm like, I'm not going to be here long. I'm going to have people paying me to talk soon. So when the opportunity presented itself, I kind of jumped on. I didn't know what I was doing at first, but I just kept going, man. I just kept going. And I started learning how to, sorry, man, that's one of my baby's cars. We got toys everywhere. But I started learning how to, basically script my shows, edit, all of that. I do it all myself, man. It's fun. I love it.
Dope. So obviously you're a father and a super dad, as you would say.
Yes, sir.
How many kids you got?
I have 3 children, man. Madison, Dallas. Madison, my only daughter, and my oldest, Dallas, and my youngest, Miles.
Dallas, huh? You a Cowboys fan?
Die hard Dallas Cowboy team, man.
Man.
Die hard, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit end now and just go ahead and cancel this, man.
All right, man. Haters, they're gonna. Hey, if it wasn't for the haters, we wouldn't be America's team. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh man, I'm a 49ers fan, so we have some old bad blood. Not too much now.
I got a little love for the 49ers, man. Deion Sanders is my favorite player, and that's the only player jersey that I would wear other than anything Texas. So I love Deion. When he was with him, I was cheering for him and the Cowboys. So we got a little love, man. A little love.
Okay. All right. Yeah, right. It's a tiny bit, right? It's a tiny bit. Like I like Emmitt Smith, but I don't like y'all. You know what I mean? Like I feel you.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right. So you got one daughter, 2 sons. Your daughter's your oldest?
My daughter's the middle.
The middle. Okay. So you got an older son, a middle daughter, and a younger son. That's cool, man. You got a little sandwich.
Yes, sir.
So how old is your oldest?
He's 1 year older than his sister. Got 8, 7, and 1.5.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about that, man. So we got an 8-year-old, 7-year-old. So you became a father 8 years ago. How was that experience going? Where were you at in your life when that happened? Like, kind of tell us how that transition kind of occurred for you.
So I had started a new job with AT&T. Job prior to that was with Delta. I wanted to make sure I traveled the world, go everywhere I wanted to go. I was with my lady, Jamaican. I'm gonna leave it at that. She's Jamaican. Man, we were doing our thing. We were having fun, and I was really trying to convince her into traveling the world with me. That's what I wanted her to do. And lo and behold, baby boy came, and things changed, and I had to get my mind right. So to answer your question, I was scared as beep. Yeah, I was scared. See, that's something that a lot of men don't want to admit, but I was. And the reason why I was scared is because I was horrified to fail. I didn't know what it took to be, personally, to be a great father. Like, I was afraid. And my perfect father came from TV. So I was scared. That's my answer. I was scared. I'm just like, man, what am I going to do? I got to save money. I got to go do this. Okay, I got to do this. I got to change here. I can't do this anymore. I was all over the place. But only person that knew it was me. Nobody else knew.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's a lot of guys are in that same boat. Like, when you find out you're going to be a dad, there's immediately 1,000 thoughts, right? Your mind's racing. You're trying to figure out what it is that you're going to do or who you're going to be and how you're going to show up and how I'm going to provide. And I got another mouth to feed. Like, all these different things are coming up. And you kept that all to yourself, huh?
Man, that's kind of how I am, man. I'm a Leo. I kind of grew up, you know what I'm saying, in the shelter, you know what I'm saying, shelter by myself. So if it's a problem, you know, you go, you face it. I'm a boxer, man. I came from a boxing background, so it's like, hey, listen, okay, I got hit with this left. I got hit with another left. It's time to, you know, what I'm saying, get your mind right. Now you got to duck, dodge, defend. So yeah, I had to get it right, man. It wasn't really anybody I can go confide in. And when it's being a parent, it's just not there. Like, I mean, I do have parents, but both of my parents, you know, they separated and went their way. But my grandmother raised me, and we talked, but I didn't have that type of relationship. Like, how can I be a dad? You know, so
Hmm.
it worked out, man. It worked out.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question because you mentioned TV fathers kind of being like the example for you. I was gonna ask you about your father and your relationship with him.
So
Um,
I can kind of dive into it. Like, my father's a
okay.
great man, but him and my mother divorced when I was, you know, what I'm saying, a child. My mother remarried, and nothing but respect for, you know what I'm saying, I even call him my dad, my stepfather. You know what I'm saying? He was a great man, but you know, a lot of men back in, you know what I'm saying, some of those men, they weren't really love. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really know how to show love. You know what I'm saying? It was more of,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, be hard, do this. I can't tell you one time, you know what I'm saying, me being younger, that I can remember my dad or my stepdad hugging me. You know, I just don't remember it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't. And I wanted that to change. And I didn't get to stay with him too long. I stayed with him long enough, but just the times that I remember, I was like, when I'm if I'm ever in that position, because I didn't want to be a dad, it's gonna be different. It has to be, because I mean, I could have been the hardest. When I was younger, it was different. I mean, I'm gonna teach my son to fight and be this, and you know, as I matured, I'm like, what is that gonna get him in
Mhm.
trouble? And that's not what I
Yeah,
want.
yeah. Hey, you mentioned you didn't want to be a dad. What changed? Well, because my wife is funny enough. My wife, I only wanted one. She didn't want any for a long time. Like it was like, if we don't have kids, we just gonna same thing. We're gonna travel the world. We're gonna go do this, go do that, pursue our careers and all these different things. And then for whatever reason, we were like, you know what? Maybe we should have a kid and see what that's like. And it obviously has been life changing, but we kind of shared that same kind of feeling. What was that for you?
The feeling with me really is just a companionship, because listen, I liked women. I mean, that's just my past. I liked women, but I found one that I just couldn't shake. I couldn't shake her. Not that I wanted to, I couldn't shake her. She wasn't going
Right.
anywhere, I wasn't going anywhere, and it happened. Life happened, and I'm glad it did, because it made me grow up really fast. I thought I was grown. I thought I was mature, but when that came, it was a whole nother level that I needed to jump on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I talk about transitions all the time, and there's these transitions in our life where we are kind of discovering who we are, right? We have that adolescent transition where we go from being a kid to being a teenager, and now we're in that middle school trying to figure out who we are. We only get a few years of that, then we're in high school and we're trying to figure out how to survive high school, and then all of a sudden we become adults, right? And people start calling us men. And we was just in sixth period. Like now all of a sudden I'm a man and I'm just trying to figure that out. And then one or two things happens. Meet a girl and get married, or you meet a girl and you become a father, right? And then that transition and that struggle like trying to figure out and navigate that is always a tough one because you're just starting to get your own identity, right? And who am I? And then all of a sudden your title changes. You're not just like a man, you're a husband, or you're a father, or you're both. Um, and I know a lot of guys struggle with that. Did you have any trouble with making the adjustment once you decided, like you said, you couldn't shake her, she was going to be there, and you were going to be there? Did you have any trouble adjusting to that?
Absolutely not, man. See, one thing that I learned uh, in the position that I was at was the word accountability. That's one word that I hold tight to my heart. And I knew I was going to be accountable. The second that I knew that I had a little one on the way, I was like, what are we going to do? You know, I'm a planner. And, well, not really. I'm a planner for things that I see, because my wife's a planner. But I knew, like, okay, this is what we're going to need to get. This is what we need to do. This is how much I need to make. And this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to need you to give me this time to do A, B, C, D, F, G. I'm one of those type of people. So when it was time, it was like there was nothing. The word failure couldn't happen. I mean, I couldn't fail. So it was like, if I got to stay up, if I got to stay up 18 hours, I got to stay up 20 hours and sleep 4, then that's what it's going to be. But I'm going to get it done. So, and that's what I did. I actually moved, got a job. I got promoted in less than 3 months. I got another promotion, and we were pushing. Moved her out of state, and we just kept going from there. And the more I worked, the more my babies were so small. And I'm rambling, man, so you'll definitely have to cut me off because I can talk about family all day. But
That's what this is for. That's what this is
babies,
for. Let's go.
my babies were so small, man, and I'm gonna be honest. This is what really changed my life. You know what I'm saying, that really made it go to the left is I I was working 80 plus hours a week, sometimes more. And I loved my job, but I was coming home, I was tired, and I was getting to see my baby say, "Hey, daddy." They would stand up for daddy, and they were basically falling asleep with me playing with them a few minutes. And I was starting waking up before they woke up and doing the same thing over again. And then on my off days, I'm like tired. They're wanting to play, and I'm just tired. And I was working at AT&T at the time, and if you know anything about AT&T, doing the Apple lunch, it's always September. That's my daughter's birthday. Now, my son, not hard to please at all. Very simple. I mean, he just, right now, you get him one thing, he's cool. He's going to dive on it. My daughter, she's extra. She's a Virgo, and she wanted a party. And I'm like, okay. She had the party, but daddy couldn't be there because daddy had to work. And a good friend of mine FaceTime me, and my daughter was on the phone. She said, "Hey, daddy, thanks." She's showing me all the girls and that. And he was talking to me, and he put the phone down for a second, and you could see my daughter. And my daughter said, "Daddy's never here. I wish he was here." And my whole, my whole heart just like, and I'm like, okay. That night I didn't go to sleep. I was waking. I was up the whole night. Like, what am I gonna do? I can't stay at the job now. I gotta find something else. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I failed at a couple of things, but I believe failing. You fail forward. You keep going. You could quit, but you keep going. You keep going. And within 2 weeks, I had already started. I joined their marketing platform, and then a few months later, I actually left corporate America full time, and I haven't went back since.
Man, that's awesome. I know the feeling, brother. I know the feeling. I was there during the pandemic. I tell this story, and listeners have heard it before, but I'm just to make it brief. Then, similar situation, man. I was managing 5 gyms, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Most nights, and then sometimes earlier, right, depending on the schedule. Had to cover somebody, so I'm there at 5 a.m. and are closing at 11 p.m. And only getting to see my kids, like, if I'm lucky, one morning I might be able to take them to school, or I may have a client cancel so I could pick them up and take them home, drop them off, and then run back to the gym. And so only getting to see them on the weekends. And then during the pandemic, gyms got shut down. So I'm at home, and my youngest is like, we were eating dinner. It's probably the first time in her life during the week that we've eaten dinner. And she's like, "What are you doing here? Like, I didn't belong at my own table." And that to me was like, okay, you're getting away from your purpose, man. It's time to get back to the family. And I start working immediately on figuring out how to make my exit, so that I could be home and be present, because
Love it.
I couldn't stand another one of those, one of them stabs in the heart. You know what I mean? And she was young. She just turned 8. So she was like 5 at that time.
Mm.
And like, those first 5 years are huge for kids.
Yep.
And she created an awareness for me, because like I say, I'm always intentional about the time I spend with them. I just didn't realize how much time I wasn't spending with them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it didn't occur to me because I was just out grinding, right? Just going to make it happen. Things were going really well. And so I'm celebrating that, and then not realizing like they were doing stuff that I had no idea about. You know what I mean? Like, when I was home, they had like inside jokes, and like, you know what I mean? I felt like an outsider in my house. That there was few weeks that we were shut down, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah, man.
So
I would see videos. I'm liking videos, and people are like, "Oh my God, your kids are so cute." I'm like, "Where you see my kids?" "Oh, on your page." I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to Legoland, and all the places they're going, Daddy's paying for. And I'm just like, I want to go to Legoland. I ain't even went to Legoland. They're going here. They're going to this party. I'm like, and it was just like, man, okay. If I work, my thought process was, if I work harder, then I'll get more time. But the more, the higher I got, the less time I got. So I was just like, something has to change. And corporate America helped me. And again, I appreciate it because I learned a lot and I do apply a lot of those tactics, but I won't go back.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So when was that for you? When did that happen? When did you make that transition?
It was 6 years ago. Actually, it'll be 6 years ago, 7 years ago next month.
Oh wow, wow. You've been at it for a while. I'm not brand new. It's been 2 years now. Well, almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in March. Um, but yeah, just trying to find my way, making things happen, doing different things that work. But again, everything has to align with my purpose, and that's one thing that I'm finding is like I'll get into something and it'll take off, it'll be booming, and then same thing, right? Like you get good at it, and it starts requiring more time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I got to kind of continue to always bring myself back to my center. How are you balancing entrepreneurship now with with also being present and available?
Because what I did was there's a speaker that I heard at one of the network marketing events I went to, and his name is Fraser Brooks. And one thing he said that just absolutely stuck with me was your vibe attracts your tribe. So, and I would always say it over and over. I'm like, your vibe attract. What is my vibe? What is my vibe? Well, I mean, you said it earlier, and it's similar to yours, which kind of drew me to you. It's family, finance, fitness, and fun. See, for grown-ups, it's family, finance, and fitness. And I believe, and I do love the faith because I mean, my grandfather is an elder and pastor. My grandmother was a state missionary. So, I mean, that's my foundation. The reason why I didn't say that was because to me, I think that to most people, probably not, but I think that's automatically included. So it shouldn't even be
Mm-hmm.
spoken about. But
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that if it doesn't go with my flow, then I don't do it. I want to help people that look like me and others learn about matters of personal finance. I want you to be able to jump to the other level. When people ask, well, how do you do that? Well, how do you not? You know what I'm saying? What is it that you want to do? Well, I want to such and such and such. Your goals aren't specific. I'm that dude that's going to challenge you. If you want it, what do you plan to do? What are you going to give up? Like I challenge my friends all the time. And if they tell me, well, I'm trying, you can't say the word trying around me. Everything around me is about helping. If you heard me speak, usually I'll end. The more people you help, the more you win by default. So if it's not about family, finance, fitness, or fun, it's not for me because I can make it. I can make it make money, and you can't tell me that people aren't getting paid to do what they love. So that's what I love. I love to work out, and I have to work out because I had a major accident. I love my family. That's what I do it for. And I'm a big jokester, man. I'm never gonna stop having fun. So when you said something about the content, hey man, I'll be in the shower, I'll be in the car. If I think about it, I'm gonna go do it because it's like I'm kind of corny because I show my wife stuff and she'll be like, okay. I'm like, man, so is it good? Like if it's funny, like I'm gonna put it up, and I don't care if I get 2 views because there's 2 people that didn't see it the first time, and it's not even about that. Because I've even talked to mentors. Like I'm like, man, I'm not getting the amount of people. It's like it's not about that. It's never about that. See, you're looking at social media and you're thinking I should have 6 million views. When it's time for that to come, it'll come. Like for instance, like I do have 259,000 followers on Facebook. Well, that's what was meant for me. But on Instagram, it's not there. But do we stop? No, we keep going. So that's the whole point. In the end, everybody gonna know who I am. So
Right.
at some point, you're gonna know because again, you have to plan. I believe in planning and writing. I have so many goals. If you see my goal board, and some of them, you'd be like, you're not gonna do that. But if you see where I came from, and I got each month I do new goals. I do ones new weekly. You know what I'm saying? I even challenge my kids to do it, and I have them write them down and put them on their board in their room. So I'm like, how close are you to your goal? So it's just about speaking it out. I know I'm getting off subject, but I do it all the time. But that's what it's about to me, man. It's just about me, you know what I'm saying, being the best me I can be and making sure that all of my little ones are better than me. And I'm not gonna make it easy. I'm gonna make it very hard. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna make it easy.
I like
You're gonna
that.
be the best, and you got to bring it. And my daughter, every morning we do affirmations. Like I'm gonna challenge them. I'm challenging them like nobody else has challenged them before. Like we're at the bus stop, and I have the other parents just like, you guys do that all the time? Absolutely. So you're not telling them what to say? I have people inbox me. How many takes did it take y'all to do that? One. They're going to be a natural. I want my kids to be able to speak in front of anybody. I want them to have the confidence. I didn't have confidence growing up. I'm a dark
Hmm.
skinned black male. My mom is high yellow. My stepfather was high yellow. My stepbrother and stepsister were high yellow, all beautiful hair. Nobody ever told me I looked good. They were always, oh, your kids are so handsome. Oh, she is so pretty. Nobody said, like, I had low self-esteem. But the difference between me, back then we could fight. So
Right,
if you
right,
said
right.
something about me, I would beat you up because I was boxing. But like inside it was hurting. But like my cry was to fight. Like, what you say about me, I'm gonna beat you up. You know what I'm saying? But like I had no self-esteem. And it took me until 7th grade till I got self-esteem, and I never looked back. And I tell my babies, it's not people, the wrong people will think that it's you being cocky, or being arrogant. And I think I heard Dion said, don't let my confidence, you know what I'm saying, hurt your, you know what I'm saying, your lack of your lack of confidence or lack of integrity or whatever it is. But I'm like, baby,
Insecurities. Yeah.
insecurities, yeah. If you're beautiful and you know it, then let them know. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. You think it. It's your world. You know what I'm saying? If you're smart, because I'll hear my son like, well, I can't do that. What did you say? Nothing, nothing. I didn't say anything. I can do it. So it's constantly pushing them. You know what I'm saying? Challenging them on to continue, even if they're drawing. I don't care what it is. Like we race home from the bus every day. I beat them every day. I walk to the bus. I mean, it's that serious, man. But like, I want them to remember that. One day I might let. No, I won't. I'm not gonna ever let them win. They're gonna have to beat.
Yeah, nah.
But
Not let them. Not let
I
them. They're going to
challenge
have
them
to
on
win.
everything, bro. Like everything, because I didn't have that. I didn't have anybody coming home. I didn't have anybody at my football games. I didn't have anybody in my track meets. I'm just like, I'm not gonna give them that. So if people call it extra, I say you're jealous. You're just jealous
Right.
that you don't have it. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Tyson had a similar quote to what Dion said, and he was in the interview, and he's saying, Mike, people say you're cocky, and he was like, people call you cocky when your confidence rubs up against their insecurities.
That's what Dion pretty much said, man. And it's the
Yeah,
truth. When you think about it, it's
yeah,
the truth. And I've gotten that, but I'm a firm believer. If you believe you can achieve it, then you can. So one thing my grandma said that stuck with me. My grandma passed, and that was my heart. She said, I got some shirts that said too. It says, God don't make no junk, right? So if God didn't make any junk, that means we are all precious jewels. So if you don't think that you're a diamond, if you don't think that you're a ruby, then you're not. If you think that you're trash, I mean, you're trash. And I
that's
hope
true.
nobody thinks like that, but it's just the ultimate truth. Some people do think like that, but I won't allow nobody attached to me to think it or let it come out their mouth.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. You know what? And it's something that I try to do myself. Is like, because my dad, when I was younger, well, not younger, I was in high school. I was about to go to college to play football, and he would always tell me, like, he got his AA, right. So he's like, I got my AA. You ain't got no choice but to get better than I got. He's like, so it ain't, no matter what them schools do, no matter what the coach say, it ain't no coming back home. You're gonna finish and get your degree. It's like, I got an AA, you got to get a BA, right? Like, it's always like the next level. You got to take it to the next level. He was like, my dad dropped out of high school. I finished high school. I got a degree. You got to get 2 degrees. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where, and I feel the same way for my kids. And like you said, I'm making it hard for them. I'm going to continue to push the envelope until I can't push anymore. And then when I'm gone, you're going to have to look at this list of things. Dang, dad did all that, right? But you also get to see it while I'm doing it, right? I'm not doing it outside the house and not letting you know how it looks, or working with you right next to me. Like when I'm doing something on the computer, come sit down right here, right? Sit with me. Let's talk through it. Let me show you what I'm doing. When I get on a call, no, you don't have to hide in the room. Come on in. Everybody knows I'm a dad. Come on in, sit
Thank
down right there. Just listen up. Like, you might be able to pull something from this. We have a morning mantra we do on the way to school now. Like, there's little things that, like, I find, and you said, I find that I wish I would have had, that would have kind of set me up in a little bit of better situation, that I'm not going to, I don't want my kid to, like people say, get it out the mud. Can't have it. Can't do that. Right. Like, there's only so many generations that need to get it out the mud. Like, we just don't need to do it no more. You know what I mean? We already out. Let's build off of where we at. We got a solid foundation. Let's start picking out the drapes and the blinds, and let's start really decorating this thing and making it what it could be, as opposed to always going back and starting over.
Love it.
So with that being said, I know you're into finances. Do you do anything with life insurance?
No, I don't. I don't personally do anything with life insurance. I do
Okay.
have. I have a really good friend named Marcus. If anyone has any questions about life insurance, he's actually the insurance guru. That's his name. So that's kind of one thing that I dibbled in to learn about. I even got another close brother named James Johnson. He does insurance as well, but it's one thing that I didn't really want to tackle because it was so many avenues, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
like it, but it's not one thing that I want to add. And you always want to have, someone. If I know someone's better than me, and that's hard for me to say. If you're better than me, I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody that I trust. But nah, my basis was something that affected me directly, and that was credit. So that
Okay.
was my basis. So you don't know how important credit is until you need it yourself. And I needed it, and I didn't understand why I had bad credit because I'm like, well, I've bought many a cars and I've never missed a payment, and what's going on? And I had to learn it. And then when I learned it, I was a little upset, but then I mastered it. So, because again, when you find out about your credit and you didn't do anything, it's a lot you start learning about people. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I had
understand
a,
where I'm going with that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had a cell phone before I had a cell phone. You know what I mean? I had a light bill.
Hey,
I had, you know what I
you
mean?
and me
Yeah.
both, man. I had a Lexus, man. I remember. Hey, listen, this story, quick story. I was down at Georgia Tech, man, and I was in school. My grandmother called me. She's like, "Hey, Wallace." I'm like, "Hey, grandma, how you doing?" She's like, how you like your new car?" I'm like, "Ma'am," I'm like, I don't have a new car." She's like, "Well, your bill came. You have a brand new Lexus." Or I'm like, "I do not have a Lexus," and she's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I got the same car that y'all got me when I was in 10th grade. I am driving. I am pushing this thing. You know what I'm saying? I may got some more rims for it and some more beats." She's like, "Well, according to these people, you have." I'm like, "Grandma, I don't have a Lexus. Somebody got a brand new Lexus in my name, man." So trust me. I mean, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. They was going ham with my credit, but again, you live and you learn, and that's why, like, when I really jumped into that, it's like I want to help people and I want to kind of explain, because when you can go from a 490 to an 819, you got a story to tell.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, man, credit is huge, right? And that's another one of those, like, being able to not start from the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, just educating your kids about credit and the importance of credit, then they don't end up, well, because you aren't right now with bad credit, right? You aren't putting them in a position, because that's what happened with me, right? My family's credit sucks. So who had the best credit in the house? The baby, right? So, right?
You get
So,
it. You get
right?
it.
Yeah, so is being in a position now where you understand it and put yourself in a good standing as far as your credit, you set your kids up not to have to go back and rebuild and dispute and
Hey man,
figure out all these
I teach
things.
my kids. My kids are there. They've been with me. I've did hundreds of seminars, hundreds of lives. Like my kids can tell you what's the lowest, the highest credit score. They can tell you what's mid prime, and I do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important. Nobody ever. My grandma. I'm gonna tell you my gist of credit. My grandmother, she did the best she could. My grandparents, and they had a church and everything, and I know she had excellent credit. But what I was told was pay your bills on time. I was taught how to write a check, and I was taught to never miss a payment. That's it. That's all I knew about credit. So what I do, I paid my bills on time. I sent my check out to a week before the bills were due. So I thought that my credit should have been excellent because I didn't know anything else about it. She didn't teach me about credit. So when it was time for me to get my first house, like years ago, and I sent the person my information, and they sent me back some laughing emojis like, "Man, you can't be kidding. You can't be serious." I was mad. Like, I wanted to go beat this dude up. I'm like, "What you talking about, man? Like, no, my credit ain't, no, you got the wrong person. It's impossible." And I seen all the stuff that was on my credit report. I was like, I want to kill something. Like, I mean, I had the money for the house and everything. I done picked out the lot and everything. Man, it was a heartbreaker. So that's why I said I literally had to get it from the bottom from there. Cause like, I'm like, okay, what can I do? And that kind of started my transition.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um, I'm gonna bring us back to credit, but I want to ask you,
All right.
with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? And them kind of sitting in on some of the seminars and some of those things. What would you say is, like, what would be the first thing you should teach a kid about credit?
You want to teach them what credit is and what can it do for you. So, But what I did with my kids is I made it fun. Um, my little ones love math. You know, I believe that math is the basis of everything. So, I mean, if you knew how far they were already, but I had the styrofoam numbers. So I'm a visual learner, and I like songs. So I give you an example. When we start learning numbers, I had a plastic pouch, purse, whatever you want to call it. We always go to Walmart, we go to Dollar Tree, and every time the kids go to the store, what they want? They want something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we learned how to count, and we learned how to count money, and we learned how to count it good. So when we go to the store, Daddy always has this fake pouch of money. If you see a Barbie and it says $12.19, I'm gonna give you the purse. You get to count it. If you count 1 cent off, you can't get it. If your brother gets it right, he can get it. So I challenged them from the beginning. When I knew that they knew their numbers all the way past 800, you know what I'm saying, 850, then that's when we start talking about, you know what I'm saying, what is credit? Why is it important? Okay, so if I got a 490, now they can't tell you what an interest loan, you know what I'm saying, subprime, but they can tell you, no, you have bad credit. You need at least a 740 if you want to get your house. So if you don't want to get a high interest rate, you better have. My kids can tell you that. So I just kind of made it like a card game, but we pretty much played it with numbers. So again, they would be in here because they would make noise sometimes. But if they were in trouble, I would be on live right here, or I would be at my desk, and I would have them on the couch, and they would listen to me saying the same things over and over, and then they would hear people calling me because I had my own team of a couple. I had a pretty large team, and they would hear people calling, asking me the same questions. They'd be like, "Daddy, so how did she get a 385 credit score? That's the lowest one." Yeah, so like they would have comparisons of scores where people would say because it would be a live call in the car, and they would have to they would know to be quiet. So it was more of a repetition. They would hear so much, and then they would always ask questions. So every question they would ask, I would answer. Well, I would challenge them to answer it and laugh at their answers, and I would tell them what it is. So it's just about talking to them about it, man. Like talk to them about it all the time. So
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know, and the reason I ask is because one, I need to know, right? I need to know what to teach mine about credit. And I know there's a lot of us who are in similar situations who are trying to fix the credit or trying to get our stuff together. And typically when we don't know something, we don't teach nobody, right? We don't figure out the information and we don't try to pass it on. And so go ahead.
let me answer that question better for you then. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to know what the credit range is. So now I see what you're saying now. So you want to know what the lowest to the highest, right? So that's going to be the first thing. So if you want to challenge somebody, find out what the lowest credit score you can have and what's the highest credit score. All right. So after that, you know what I'm saying, now you want to find out what are the three levels. So it's going to be low, moderate, you know what I'm saying, what's good credit, what's excellent credit, what's bad credit, right? And then from there, what you want to start doing, you want to basically tell them to go look up the definition of FICO because there's different types of credit. Like when you get there's car credit, there's home credit. It's different types. There's many. You know what I'm saying? Many people will look at Credit Karma and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, I got a 790." No, you don't, because that's not your FICO score. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know, you're gonna argue all the way down. Yes, I do, because this is what it says. But you go to the car dealership, they're gonna laugh at you. So it's just you start with the definition of FICO. That's gonna take you a long. That's gonna take you a long way. And then I would even tell the kids to go and Google what is credit. There's songs. There's a lot of things online. But I would tell the parents to go first because you'd be surprised that most parents, most grown-ups don't even know what's the highest credit score you can get. Most grown-ups have never had an 800 credit score. So,
Yeah.
I've never had an 850. You know what I'm saying? The highest I've ever gotten is 823, and and that has a little bit to do with some of the things that was because I still have stuff on my credit report that aren't mine that I won't even touch. Somebody has a credit card in my name over 30 some years, and they still paying for it. But it wouldn't make sense for me to take it off.
Right. Right.
So, because how your credit is calculated, that's another thing. Your credit is calculated in a couple of different ways. Debt to income ratio. So it's a couple of ways. So I want to give you the cheat sheet, but I also want people to go do the homework, right?
Right.
But I will say this: paying your bills on time is extremely important. One late bill payment can drop your score from 80 to 200 plus points. So it weighs heavy. The length of credit history, how long have you had the card, credit utilization, all of these are factors in on how your score is calculated. So when you know that, then you can kind of go in. So like even how much you've used, you know what I'm saying, on the percentage you use on your card. So if you do have like Credit Karma, Experian, or one of those apps, you'll see you have high utilization. Why do people have high utilization? What causes that? A card caused that. A lot of things that cause that. If you have a $10,000, I'm getting off the subject, but if you have a $10,000 credit card limit and you're using 9,880, nobody's going to want to loan to you because you're a risk. So you want to keep that. You really want to keep it below 10%. I tell people keep it below 5% if you can. You know, and you don't want just one credit card. Get you multiple credit cards just in case you do have to use credit cards. And another thing too that a lot of us do that we don't, you know what I'm saying, take advantage of. You got a debit card. You're always using your debit card. Why use a debit card? I mean, I know it's more convenient. Use the credit card. Get you a credit card that gives you money back. Use the credit card when you're getting that $20 of gas, and then just go straight to your debit and pay that $20 off. Then you paid yourself to do it. Make sense? Then you're getting money back, especially if you have a cash rewards card. Other people do it. I'm not gonna say what other people do it. They've been doing it for years. If you're gonna use your debit, you use your debit to pay off your credit card. It only makes sense, especially if you're getting money back. Like my Apple card, only time I use my Apple card is if I'm buying something with Apple or if I'm buying a shake at the gym. And last month I think I got I'm telling on myself. Last month I think I got like $89 back. I know I got 2 pair of Beats and I got a lot of shakes, but it's free money for me. So when I do it, I go in and I pay it off on my phone. Just go buy it, go. It's very simple. So just a little cheat nugget.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that because we will just throw that debit card out there just because we're used to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get some benefits on the back end, why not? Why not? So that makes sense. Yeah, I appreciate you for breaking that down a little bit for me too, because that's what I was trying to get to. Just something that people could take away from here, because I do find like, and I'll use myself as an example. My daughter, my youngest, wants to play volleyball, right? I'm in sports, been training athletes forever. Matter of fact, I got a softball in my hand right now. But and like I play baseball, so I can help them with softball. But when they came to volleyball, I'm like, never played volleyball. I can't really teach you nothing about that. So we either got to find somebody that can and put you on a team, and then I'm just gonna have to like not be able to understand what's happening, or I'm gonna have to go do some research, but I can't really teach you the game. Like I can't, right? So people will shy away from what they don't know.
Right.
And if I don't know credit, I'm just gonna tell you, hey, listen, pay everything on time, right? Don't use credit. Like I'm gonna tell you the things that protect you from what I don't know.
Right.
Right. All credit is bad. Like all those things. Right. And same thing with like bank accounts. Right. Like just put your money in the bank account. Right. Or don't invest it. Right. Because you might lose it all. I don't understand investing, so I'm gonna tell you the things that I know to protect you. And sometimes it's just because we don't know better. Our parents didn't know better,
Mm-hmm.
and so they just told us what they thought was safe. Not that they were wrong. And they were, but like not that they were doing it intentionally, right?
Yeah,
they
you don't know. You don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I appreciate you sharing that because I know somebody out there needs to know that, right? Like I didn't know what the highest credit score was. I know it was in the 800s, but I don't know what the highest is. I know my credit score peaked 800, like 801, and then we bought a house and it came back down. But you know what I mean? Like I got up there and I've been working my way back to get back up on top, but nobody ever talks to me about credit.
And man,
my mom or my dad.
Man. I can give you a couple things. Same here. I can give you a couple tips, man. Even like another tip, real quick, is when you're paying your bills. There's a 3-15 rule. So 3 days, 3 days before, 15 days before the bill is due, and then 3 days before the bill is due. And why would you pay your bill? Why would you pay your bill twice? Because on-time payments, it weighs very heavy on the percentage of your calculated score. So if you pay your bill, if you do that on the 15-3 rule, then it's going to be considered 2 payments instead of 1 during that month. And that's what you want. You want multiple payments, because they look at your credit history. So if you ever look at a breakdown of your credit, it'll say doesn't have long history for credit or this or that. You know what I'm saying? That's why some people may need a trade line, or some people may need somebody to add them onto a line, somebody that got strong credit to help boosting them up to make people think that they're trustworthy. Because are you going to be trustworthy? Would you trust somebody who's only paid 6 months and the most that they've ever had is a $2,000 card, and they're always 80% to the threshold. I'm like, well, I'll give you some money, but I'm gonna give you $500, right?
Right.
They want to see some grit in the game. So a part of that grit is you having, you know what I'm saying, you have a car, you have a house, you know what I'm saying, having installing credit, you know what I'm saying, having, I'm not saying go get a card from Macy's or something like that, but different types of credit will help. A gas card, right? Just different things that help build your credit. Stuff that you don't even know that you make that can help. You know what I'm saying? But it'll help.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 All right. Let's jump back into fatherhood a little bit.
Let's do it.
So you got a 1 year old, right? You had the two older. How was it getting back into diapers, man? Because I'm afraid of diapers right now. Like I don't want nothing to do with them.
Hey man, look, this is the best time that I've had, bro, because again, I wasn't there the full time when my babies were so small. And I hated it. And I wanted to be, but I was working so much, and she understood. I mean, like you, I was opening and closing and going to another store. So, I mean, I know she was loving it because I was like full there. I wasn't tripping at all. Like that little dude was so spoiled. He had a crib, and I think he may have slept in that crib twice. So, yeah, I, I
Yeah.
I I embraced it, man. And I know a lot of men probably don't. They should, but I embraced it, man. I tell people I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to be different. If I'm gonna call myself super dad, and if I'm going to be super dad, if I'm gonna wear, shirts, call, the dope dad. If I'm gonna start the dope dad club, if I'm gonna have a dope dad series, then I got to be a dope dad. Dope dad's gonna be there. So I'm cleaning the
Right.
diaper. I'm cleaning the room. I'm sweeping. Listen, I'm taking a bath. It doesn't matter. If I got to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I like that, man, and that's important, for your family unit, for your wife to see that you are fully involved, for your kids to see like, yo, dad is here and he don't care, dad changing diapers, dad is doing all this stuff. I think it's great for your sons to see and great for your daughter to see. Like it's, I think a lot of times we get so caught up on ourselves and what we don't like and what we don't want to do. And it's hard for us to like get outside and see like, yo, the bigger picture is your kids are seeing you every day and they are going to learn from what you do, not from what you say, right? They're going to hear some of what you say. They're going to see all of what you do. And more than likely, they're going to mimic you or mock you, right? Like right now, I see my daughters do stuff and the way they move. Like, I'm like, man, you look like your mom. Like, you know what I mean? They just do little things, right? And it's not even on purpose, right? Maybe it's inherited or maybe it's something they saw or heard or felt.
Man, they
And just
always looking, bro. I'm so sorry. I had to say that. My daughter is a human tape recorder. Like, goodness, bruh. Like, yes, man. I have to learn, man. So all the time, like, I watch what I say, man.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
because
That would hit. That would hit. I mean, one time my daughter said, "I said, where'd you get that word from?" You. I said, "You a story. You didn't." She's like, "Okay, I got it from YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, Daddy ain't never said that because I kind of make it. I make it a point not to say certain stuff around my children. You know what I'm saying, on
Mhm.
purpose. Like I get mad. Daddy raises his voice sometime. I'm working on that. That's one of my vices that I wrote down because like Daddy, like. Well, usually on a Cowboys game, but don't tell anybody because I need complete silence, and you already know how Cowboys win one in I don't know how many years, but Daddy get mad. Hey, Daddy get mad, but it's what you just said, man. Like I wish people would understand that if you saying it, their kids gonna say it too. They might not say it in front of you because they're smart. If your child has any type of sense, they know what not to say in front of you. But if you're
Right.
saying it, they're saying it too. Please believe that.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's interesting too is the stuff that they pick up. It's always well, obviously they're picking up the good things, but they let you know when they picked up something bad. Like like my daughter, they always find a way to tell their mom I said something that I you know what I mean? Like I don't cuss like outside of coaching football, like I really don't cuss at all. But every once in a while I'll say something like and it'll be like did you just say the S word? And I'm like, nah, I didn't say that. And then I'll hear them talking to their mom. Yeah, daddy said the S word earlier. I'm like, no, I didn't, man. I promise I didn't. But
That's
they're always trying to snitch on me, man.
that's hey, it wouldn't even be right, man. Hey, I tell you this too, man. I people can get mad all they want. I want my kids to snitch. I want you to tell everything. I want my daughter telling on her brother. I want him telling on her. I'm teaching the little one to go tell you tell. because I want them protected, man. You know, and us as black fathers, you know, it's not going to be much that they can get away with because now they're messing with our women and not little girls. So
Right.
I need to know everything, and I tell them, hey, listen, daddy needs to be able to trust you. If I can't trust you, you can't get nothing. Like I like, don't make me go get. We went and got ice cream yesterday. I told them they weren't gonna get it, but we went and got it. I'm like, don't you make me go up here and put y'all in the car and me get ice cream and eat it in front of y'all. That'd be the worst. That'll be the worst. You know, that would just be hurt. But I
Yeah.
didn't do it, but I thought about it. I thought about
Yeah.
it.
Now, I think what you just said there is really important, man, is having that open line of communication with your kids, because a lot of times, like you said earlier, you say your kids are smart. So if they heard something bad, they won't say it in front of you. But you do also want to have that open line where, like, if something is happening or they hear something or they see something, they're open to being like, Daddy's not gonna be mad at me. He's gonna listen to what I say and then help me with it, right? Like, they always can come to you with anything. I think that's a really important thing to have
Yes,
with
sir.
all your children, male or female. Not just like, your son can come and talk to you about anything, but your daughter should be able to talk to you about anything, even if it makes you uncomfortable, because she needs your help.
Yeah.
And ever, like, there's one thing that my dad told me a long time ago when my kids were first born. And he didn't, like, for whatever, he's old stoic dude. He ain't giving me a bunch of like soft information, but he was like, if your girls ever come to you and ask you for advice, you never tell them to go ask their mother. He's like, if you don't know, you got to figure it out, because if you do that one too many times, they stop asking you.
Yep.
Because daddy don't know, right? Be okay with telling them you don't know, and let's figure it out together. But don't just keep sending them to your mom, right? Like, don't go ask your mom.
That's great advice. Like I make it a point. Even yesterday, I got upset with my daughter, and we talked in front of everybody. Then I went to the car. I was about to leave, and I came back in. I told her to come outside, and we had a talk. You know, because I think it's important. Because sometimes the children, they might not listen, but you have to be able to have, what I'm saying, that communication. So they're not, like, just like you said, so they don't shut down and don't want to say anything. But I have that relationship with my daughter and my son, because I didn't have that relationship growing up. Now, I had that relationship with my mom for a little bit, but we kind of grew apart. You know what I'm saying? She was like my best friend. And then I guess the closer her and her husband got, she kind of, that's what she chose. And as a child, you don't know that. But as a grown up, you know how some women be, you know what I'm saying, with some men. And so you can't be mad, but like, I make it a point. So what you said, that was a valid point. I make it a point to speak to my daughter, my son, like, because sometimes he'll be scared. I'm like, listen, man, come here and talk to me. Don't be like that. You better open up your mouth. And if he'll do like that, and I'll beat him up a little bit, roughen him up, and he'll start laughing. I'm like, okay, so talk to me, man. So
Yeah.
same thing. My daughter, she'll talk to me. My son, he think he's tough, you know what I'm saying? But beat him up with some pillows or, a shoe, you know what I'm saying, elbow, drop kick, throw him on the bed, he'll get it.
Right. Yeah, that's how you got to crack his shell a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, man. Look, I don't want to keep you too long, but I do have a couple questions for you that are kind of pertinent to the podcast that I think.
All right. What you got?
All right, so here's a big one, right? Fatherhood podcast. Obviously, you're a father. I'm a father. The guys listening to fathers. I've asked this question on pretty much every episode. I don't think there's one that I haven't asked this question. I've gotten different answers, so I'm interested to hear what you say. So here you go. What does fatherhood mean to you?
Fatherhood means the world to me. Like, when it comes to fatherhood, that's my everything. I've did everything since the first thought of me having my first child was everything about fatherhood. Like, the person that I was immediately changed. I remember calling my grandmother and telling her, I'm about to have a child. And she was like, Wallace, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. She's like, she's old school. You better pray, and I mean, we talked, but it means everything, man. Like, fatherhood made me get my mind right. Fatherhood made me get my pockets right. Fatherhood made me get 2 new vehicles. Fatherhood pushed me to do everything. Fatherhood made me go put on 30 pounds of muscle. I mean, everything. Like, I blame everything. I'm not going to say blame, but it led up to it, and everything in the future too. Like, my goals that I'm writing down, the basis, you know what I'm saying? When you're building a home, the most important part is the foundation. My foundation is fatherhood. And that's why the home that I'm building is so, excuse my language, so damn big. because it's about everything, right? Like that's my everything. So just like the heart needs blood, that's my blood pumping through every piece of vein, because every time my daughter wakes up, every time my son wakes up, every time I hear them say daddy, that's my why. You know what I'm saying? Because I smile every time. My baby's one, he smiles and I'm smiling. My daughter's smiling. I'm just like, dang, that's me. You know, like I can't believe it, you know, because I didn't have anybody growing up that looked like me. Even I had a brother that passed. Nobody looked like me. And I finally got 3 beautiful children, and they kind of favor me. So I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure that they're better than me. So I know it's a little long, but fatherhood is everything to me. That's my everything.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And you could tell, right? We could tell it was long because it was meaningful. It meant something to you to answer that question. And I love the answer. I would have to agree. I would have to agree. Well, I'm not gonna let you just skip past though. You put on 30 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
What's happening there? What's going on with that, big dog? 30 pounds ain't easy to come by.
We're not stopping, man. I've always played sports all my life, man. When I boxed, I was like, couldn't gain weight. And what had happened, I'll just be transparent. I actually got paralyzed from the waist down. I ruptured my L2, 4, and 5 in my back, and they told me I'll never be able to work out again. Right? They said I wouldn't walk without pain. And for a while, it was the truth. And I just kind of realized, I'm like, I've never listened to anyone tell me anything, that I couldn't do anything. Never. Nobody. Anytime, like, again, I tried to break every record my dad had just so I can get his attention. So you can't tell me what I can't do. If I can't do it, I mean, if I don't try, then I can't do it. Let me go over and try. It hurt like hell, you know, but I proved them wrong. You know, they want to test me. No, you can't test me. You told me wrong, right? And you know, and then you know, faith too. You know, if you really have that faith, my faith was so strong, man. I just remember having the leg up and looking, just like, man. And my life was like Kill Bill. That's kind of how it was, man. So that, and then I gained about 15 pounds of muscle, you know what I'm saying, working out, you know what I'm saying, changing my eating completely. I don't eat like I used to eat. My grandparents are from Louisiana. I don't eat like I used to eat. You know what I'm saying? And my wife, she doesn't eat a lot of different things too. We kind of changed it when we first met. But I was about 172, between 170 and 175 before my son came. And when she said we having a little one, I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'm gonna be 190, 195 before it comes. I challenged myself, and I did it the right way. I didn't go get, you know what I'm saying, no, I ain't go get all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I did it the right way. I was just gaining, you know what I'm saying, just doing it because I didn't want to have no big old fat stomach and this. I wanted to be proportioned, and I'm one of those dudes that's men. I'm men against chicken legs. So I gotta lift, I gotta run, I want to do it all. I just want to feel good and I want to look good. And also I got a daughter, so I want to scare every single little dude that look at her. If we're being transparent, so we got some more muscles to get. So like I'm gonna be like, what? Because I got all my friends. My nickname is Little Boy. All the people I hang around are huge. I mean, like they're like rocked up and everything. So like I'm coming for everybody. So you know,
there you go.
It's just a personal thing, man.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean you can't say I put on 30 pounds of muscle and not have me like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on there? That's good though, man. I like, you know, first of all, God, you know, thank God that everything worked out with the accident and you know, being able to work your way back. But I think it's a testament to what you said is you ain't taking no for an answer. Right.
Man,
Like
I had to be a dad. I got to be able to pick up my son. Like
yeah.
my thing that was pushing in my head is like, I have to be able to pick up my kids and have fun. Like I'm not going to be, you know what I'm saying, walking around cricket back. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be that dad. I already said I was going to be I'm going to be the fun dad that walks in the room. I don't care what it is. The moms are going to be like, my wife's going to be like, she's going to be holding my hand, but the lady's going to be like, ooh, I'm like, yeah, I'm married up, babe. I'm married.
Yeah. Man, that's dope, man. So you walked away from corporate and then you walked away from the accident and got back to being strong. Look, I got 2 more questions, 2 more, and I'm gonna wrap it up and I'm gonna let you go. The first one is let's say you're doing a Facebook Live, or you're going live, right? You set it up, you promote it, you got a bunch of people coming, but all those people are fathers, right? Everybody that signed up is a dad, father of 2, father of 10, father of 1. What is the message that you want them to hear?
Do it scared. You got to do it scared. That's my message. Do it scared. Because the thing is, a lot of us are afraid to fail. And I kind of spoke on it a little bit. You gotta fail. You gotta fail to succeed. There's not one person who's been perfect from day one to the end. You gotta do it scared. You think that Michael Jordan never took a shot that he was scared he was gonna miss? Now you probably didn't see it. Kobe same. But what it is you gotta believe. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing the scare, you still gotta believe that you can do exactly what you're doing. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to say believe. It has to already been done in your mind. Like, you got to begin with an end in mind, but you really got to be serious. So if you got something that you want to do, you can't be saying, just for example, man, I want a car. No, I want a 2017 Ford Mitsubishi, whatever. You got to be extremely specific in your goals and what you want to do, but you got to be you can be scared, but if you it's okay being scared, but if you know what you're doing, you already won. So do it scared. Like, and that's what fatherhood too. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I knew I was going to be the best at it. No, and to me, you know what I'm saying, I'm not looking at other fathers, you know what I'm saying, trying to compete. I'm looking straight ahead, like this dude that I'm seeing right now, that's a super dad. Ain't nobody more super. I'm literally Superman. You can't tell me that I'm not Superman to my kids. You cannot. Nobody can. Like my even my son still to this day still thinks daddy has a ball in his arm. He thinks that I had balls put in my arms because those are my muscles. Like I went up to the school and his friends were like, "Oh, your dad has all those muscles." I'm like, dude, you didn't tell him I was Superman? Shh, don't tell them. They don't need to know. Like I am Superman until it's not done. That's what I want to be. I need to be my kid's superhero because they're definitely mine. So I would just say do it scared. Even superheroes be scared. So, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay. Do it, but do it scared. It's okay.
Yeah. Courage isn't the absence of fear; it's doing it anyway, doing it even though you're scared. Right. All right. So second part to this question, man. You again, you're doing a live. You did all the marketing. You hit your target market perfectly. Um, but only 3 people sign up.
Hmm.
Those 3 people are your kids. What is the message you want them to hear?
Let's win. Only thing we do is, you know what I'm saying, 3 people. So the terminology for team is together everyone achieves more. You give me 3 people. Those 3 people can go get 10 people each. So that's going to be 30. If that 30 go get another 10, listen, what you do when you start out, a grass field starts out with one grain. You know what I'm saying? A tree. You know what I'm saying? If you want to grow an orchard, you know what I'm saying, you got to start with one. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3 doesn't matter. What's that gonna stop? 2 is better than 1. 3 is better than 2. It could have been 0. So I'm gonna find positivity in any and everything that I do, especially when my kids are involved. Like it doesn't matter. Like they can get last place. Hey, listen, but you ran. You know what I'm saying, somebody didn't show up today. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's my kids too, then I already know we're gonna win because they're a part of me. So I mean, hey, listen, let's go prove everybody wrong and show them and why it was a mistake that none of them signed up. Let's go get this money together. Hey, I'd rather get money with my people than anybody else. So I, I'm not missing a beat. If they minds, then you know what I'm saying, I know I did it right because they already know they won because they signed up with a winner. They know dad's a winner and winners win. So and I
That's it.
and also this may not be right, but um, you're attracted to who you are. So if nobody else signed up, then they weren't supposed to be on my team because I only attract winners. I'm not worried about it.
There you go. There you go. That's it, man. That family, you and your kids and your wife, that team is unbeatable, no matter what,
Absolutely.
right? No matter
Undefeated.
what the opposition is, that team is unbeatable. You may not win yet, but you never lose. You're still in the process of winning, right? So I love that. I love that, and that's something that's really important to share with kids because as they grow up and they go through society and they start to experience all these different things for the first time, it is easy for them to get down on themselves, to get discouraged, and to see failures and losses and things not go the way that they planned it. But to understand that, hey, we don't lose, we win. We are going to win, right? We just haven't won yet, and I love that. I love that. All right, man. So if people are trying to find you, right, and they want to, one, just follow you just because, or two, they want to get any information from you regarding credit or fatherhood or anything, where would they find you?
Hey man, you can find me on the major social media streams. I have a YouTube page under Wallace Holyfield. I'm on Wallace Holyfield on Facebook. on Instagram. It's under Holyfield Can Help You. I actually go by Mr. I Can Help You or the Head Twister. If you like my Fit Dad shirt, I have a bevy of shirts. The basis is We Turn Heads. That's the Head Twisters. So DA headtwisters.com. And again, we demand attention. So if you know that you demand attention, you need to go to the Head Twisters and purchase a shirt. Especially we got a Dope Dad series. So I know it's going to be a lot of fathers on here. So if you're a dope dad, get one of the Dope Dad Club shirts, and you can join us, man. And we got some things planned for the future there. But hey, Wallace Holyfield, you should be able to find me. If you got any questions about anything, I always respond. So just hit me up. That's what I do.
Dope. And I'll put all that in the show notes to be on the website and all that. I'll make sure we have all the contact information just in case you guys are driving or working out and listening to this and you miss it. You can go back and find it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you taking your time as a busy father myself. I know that time is extremely important, and the fact that you're taking the time to share your life and your experiences in fatherhood with us is of great value, and we totally appreciate it. I know that I'm going to take something from this episode and go and try to install it and use it in my own fatherhood playbook. And it's my hope that somebody else, one of the other fathers, can do the same. So thank you again for being open, honest, and sharing this information with us, brother.
Absolutely. No, let's link, man, so I can get you in one of these shirts, man. You got to represent for me.
Yeah, man, I need it. I you know what? I looked at the Head Twisters. What's today? Monday. I looked at it on Saturday. I'm like, damn, I got to get some shirts. We got to go ahead and get in on this merch. Because first of all, not only because you're on the podcast, that's secondary. I like the message, right? Like I like what I see, and I'm a dad, so I got to promote fatherhood, right? Fatherhood is important, right? Turning heads is important. Like it, I like it.
The only reason I plugged it is I usually don't say things just for the dope dads, because I literally took something that they made negative in the hood, and I took it back. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up on the street with people were selling dope on the corners. I lost my best friend in 3rd grade, you know what I'm saying, because he took a piece of candy that was laced. You know what I'm saying? He died during recess. So it's like I'm literally trying to take back what they, you know what I'm saying, what they said. Even with the head, I know it's supposed to be THE, but that's something. It's actually something I started in 1999, and it plunked. And I was like, you know what? I still got the LLC. I'm gonna do it because I'm telling my kids, hey, don't ever quit, don't ever do this. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Like I showed them sketch drawings, and I'm still rambling, but I showed them sketch drawings that I started like when I was in high school, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a clothing line one day. And I failed, I tried another one. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna let my kids see me do it. They actually helped me design the shirts and everything, so it's fun. And only thing I do with it is just put back into my kids. Like that is just something that we do because it's pushing them to start their own. And before we go, I'll say my daughter is actually in the process of starting her own what the company's already started. She wrote the name, she got the flavors and everything. She's doing lip balm. It's hers. Daddy just has to do, you know what I'm saying, I got to do the other work because she's too young to do it. But when we launch and it's in Walmart, I'm gonna reach out to you and I'm gonna send something to you. I'm so serious, man, because we really talking to some people. And again, she chose the name, she chose the flavors, she drew the stuff, but of course we send it to somebody else to manufacture it. But it is her doll, it's not mine. Only thing I did was, you know what I'm saying, make sure the paperwork was okay. And that's what I want, you know what I'm saying, is I want my kids to be, you know what I'm saying, successful entrepreneur. Daddy gonna push you, but I'm not gonna do it for you. Right. You got to come up. Like my son, he wants to play video games, and he's great at it. But I'm like, you don't play games unless you get straight A's. You can't. You got to tell the truth. So it's a little different from him. Hers is a different, you know what I'm saying, business venture. But whatever they do, if you guys are still listening, man, if your kids tell you they want to do something, by all means, figure out how to do it. That's what she said she wanted to do. So I'm gonna push her with it. So, and then we got some books coming later this year too. Some books. I will be a published author. Got a couple of series of books that I have. It's basically me showing me how I raise my kids. Some things how I raise my kids. So teaching them how to count, how to learn songs and all that, man. So we got some big things coming, and I appreciate you letting me be on today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot of great things in the works, man. I'm excited to see it all come to fruition, man. I would love to see how everything plays out, and whatever you put out, we're gonna support.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate
All
you
right.
letting me on today.
For sure. For sure. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day, brother. I will talk to you soon.
All right, man. Have a great one.